I'm John Ratzenberger, and this is Made in America. We travel to Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania to fry up whatever we want with some all-clad cookware.
Put that right in it.
Sandwich right in there.
Yes, sir.
I've been all over this great country, small towns and big cities, visiting factories and workshops, searching for the soul of America. And you know what? I found it everywhere. So sit back and relax, because we've got it made in America. Recently, we were invited over to a neighbor's house to have a look at the new kitchen. It was the kind of kitchen you see in restaurants with new everything. Everything, that is, but, well, their cookware, which looked 50 years old because it was. It had been her grandmother's, then her mother's before becoming hers. To me, she said, great pots and pans are more valuable than jewels. Just don't tell my husband. Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania is about 20 miles southwest of Pittsburgh, a region of vast coal reserves that became the hot spot of American metalworking during the Industrial Revolution. More than a century later, in 1968, a local metallurgist, with that history running metaphorically through his veins, founded the All-Clad Company. His name was John Ulam. You probably know All-Clad from seeing it in stores like Williams-Sonoma and Macy's and possibly your own kitchen. What you may not know is what the name All-Clad represents. It represents Ulam's discovery of how extreme heat and pressure can bond, or clad, different kinds of metal. He called his new process roll bonding. Melissa Palmer is All-Clad's Director of Brand Communications.
What he did was he developed the process of roll bonding, and he took that process to the U.S. Mint and actually bonded the quarter that's probably in your pocket today.
I was just going to ask, because I know that that same process is used in coins.
Right.
And he is the man who invented that process.
He did. So what he did is, after he developed that, he came back to his factory a couple years later and said, why don't I take that same process and adapt it to cookware?
By 1973, All-Clad's rolling mill was turning out a complete line of cookware. Coincidence or not, the timing has been propitious, with America's interest in fine eating growing almost by the day.
We heard a seminar from a chef a couple years ago, and he was saying, you know, when I started this, there were 2 culinary schools. Now there's over 2,000.
Just here in America?
Yeah, it's growing and growing and growing.
The reason All-Clad's cookware combines different metals is that each offers unique advantages in cooking. Copper, for example, is renowned for its even heating, but it's also tough to keep clean. That's why some of All-Clad's cookware has copper lining between the layers of stainless steel, so cooks get the best advantages of both. Another All-Clad line mixes in less glamorous aluminum, which conducts heat well but doesn't cost as much as copper. There are other combinations, too. All-Clad's VP of Technical Services, Bill Grohl, explains what they are.
We have stainless, aluminum, stainless with magnetic stainless on one side, non-magnetic stainless, stainless, aluminum, non-magnetic, stainless, aluminum, anodized, stainless, aluminum brush, stainless, aluminum, copper, stainless, aluminum, stainless, aluminum, stainless brush.
What was this one and that one again? All combinations begin the manufacturing process when rolls of metal are cut into sheets.
A lot of this stainless steel comes from right here in the Pittsburgh area. Plus, all of these metals are custom made for us. The metallurgy, the temper, the surface preparation, they're per our specification.
Next, the sheets are abraded, which helps them bond to each other. That bonding begins in the feed room, where sets of 3 sheets are sandwiched to form clads. Gary Patarini is the sandwich maker. All right, so I gotta put these gloves on.
Yes,
because
sir.
Why?
Well, if you touch this here, what happens is it won't bond. Well,
if you get your skin oil on it.
Exactly, that's what will happen.
I wouldn't want to do something like that.
We take this piece of stainless here that's welded on the end up there.
Okay.
This lever brings down the suction cup that lifts it.
Nice.
One piece of this goes on the bottom here. We take 2 pieces of this.
That's the magnetic one?
Yes. And now 1 layer of that.
Alrighty. There are 6 sheets to a stack, enough for 2 clads of metal.
Gently tap it.
Oh!
Tap it like that. We send it down. Goes through the furnace.
Once they're bonded, the 6 layers will become 2. Heavy metal rollers squeeze the sheets tighter.
Is there adhesive bonding? Is it heat? Or?
No, it's heat and pressure. It's what's called a metallurgical bond. It's achieved by first preparing the surfaces, then preheating, and then applying tremendously high pressure. Causes the metals to interlock.
The 2 resulting clads are split apart, straightened in a machine called a leveler, and cut into blanks according to the shape of the pot or pan they're destined to become. The next step in the process is called hydroforming.
It's a very unique breed of metal forming. If you were to take a water balloon in your hand and push your finger into it,
I've done that many times.
You know how the balloon takes the shape of your finger?
Right.
Well, that's what's happening in this machine. There's a rubber bladder, and there's a hard punch that comes up from the bottom. The pressure in this chamber is so great. It's 15,000 pounds per square inch.
So the bladder is enveloping the thing.
So if you look up from the bottom,
Yes.
you'll see a rubber surface. It's very thick.
Got it, because it can't be a hard surface, because otherwise it won't bend so well. You won't get that round bend.
That's exactly correct.
Any sharp edges are trimmed and buffed. Then Mallory polishes the surfaces with an abrasive pad.
What we do is take the Scotch-Brite, and you start at the outer rim of the pot, let it spin, take it down into the middle, and back out.
So that's a really expensive dog dish. Is that what it is?
No, it's fry pan.
Oh, fry pan.
All-Clad's LTD line is anodized, which some cooks like because it makes the surface more durable. Others just think the black finish looks really cool. Finally, the handles are riveted into place. And the cookware is sent to eager cooks and chefs around the world, including nearby Pittsburgh, where Robert Vargo prepares fine meals using nothing but All-Clad.
What is the difference between this and some other product?
I can show you just cooking this.
Yeah.
Just putting some olive oil in here.
So it heats up evenly, you said?
Yes, it does. The All-Clad, it's maintaining the heat. Some fresh tomatoes. We're going to start chili sea bass in this. We have pans that have been here for decades.
As they say, the proof is in the pudding. Also, the sea bass, the scrambled eggs, pierogies. When we come back to Made in America.